Barbara and Bill Dufresne joined 35 other Rhodes Scholars at the Hartford Airport Sheraton Hotel to study New England railroad history. Our studies start with a sightseeing journey through the beautiful Connecticut River Valley by train from Essex, Connecticut to Deep River Landing, where we board the Becky Thatcher riverboat.
May have got across the border all right today.
We leave the train to board the riverboat.
Have the American bald eagle. It was built in 1913 and just time was the longest wheat bridge in the world. However, it's no longer holds that title. It now has native fiber and that is the Opera House. What a rope, they felt like pouring in there. That's library. And continuously operating ferry route in the United States. And the oldest continuously operating ferry route in the United States is also on the Connecticut River, and that's further north, runs between Glastonbury and Rocky Hill.
Day 2 begins with a bus ride to Bellows Falls, Vermont, and a lecture in the Green Mountain Railroad Station. Lunch is served in a private dining room in the Coolidge Hotel, located in White River Junction, Vermont. On to Lincoln, New Hampshire, we see the Hobo Railroad and the ongoing restoration of a streamlined bed car. The Flying Yankee, B&M number 6000, has been a legend in New England ever since it arrived on the Boston and Maine in February 1935. Built by the E.G. Budd Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the end of the Great Depression, the Flying Yankee was and still is an extremely rare three-car articulated diesel-electric passenger train that was said to be the first streamlined train to operate east of the Mississippi. Best meal of the trip was served on the Café Lafayette dinner train. Joe and Bob, with Barbara and Bill, enjoy a great dinner and scenic ride through the woods and over the river. Departing from the 1874 Victorian station in North Conway Village, We enjoy an old-fashioned railroading experience on one of the routes of the Conway Scenic Railroad. We passed the roundhouse and turntable on our way out of the yard.
Deciduous are the red oak Chandler Farm and were known as Chandler's Fields.
His dream began in 1852 when, after becoming lost near the summit of Mount Washington, Sylvester Marsh knew there had to be a better way for people to reach the highest mountain peak in the Northeast. Upon his return home, he immediately started working on a plan to build the world's first mountain climbing cog railway. Marsh, a native of Compton, New Hampshire, had made his fortune in Chicago's meatpacking industry and was considered by his contemporaries to be a creative and innovative thinker. However, upon first presenting his idea to members of the New Hampshire legislature, they laughed at Sylvester Marsh and said that he might as well build a railway to the moon. Undaunted, Marsh began the task of building his mountain climbing railway. Along with inventors Henrik and Walter Aikens, a father and son team from Franklin, New Hampshire. The task was not an easy one, as equipment and materials had to be hauled by oxen for 25 miles to Benton Woods, and then another 6 miles through thick forest to the base of Mount Washington.
Here we go. The maximum speed we'll be encountering today is about 5 1/4 miles on the way up. I can't really tell you what on the way down. That's all variable. Now, as you head out of the base station, look off to the right-hand side in that little keep-out area with the little fencing. You'll see Pepper Sass. Old Pepper Sass, that was the first locomotive on this railroad.
On July 3, 1869, Old Pepper Sass became the first cog-driven train to climb 6,288-foot Mount Washington.
That winter, the 2008 winter of 2008-2009.
Weather on Mount Washington the day we arrived was 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 miles per hour wind, foggy and miserable. Travel to Meredith, New Hampshire for a morning program at the Lake Winnipesaukee Railroad and meet with their historian. Following the presentation, we journey along the Lake Winnipesaukee, enjoy a box lunch along the journey, enjoy a nostalgic scenic excursion along the shores of the lake. We travel between Meredith and Lakeport, always within view of the lake.
It's a Bud car. I suppose you've seen these before. Made by the Bud Corporation in the early 50s. They were self-propelled, and we were able to buy quite a few. It's exactly one of these cars that they took and refurbished and made over to a beautiful dining car that they have up there. They also
That's what I mean.
in the process of doing that, there were many other
The railroad line was built in 1849
railroads.
before any development occurred on the then remote lake. We traveled through the front yards of many resort homes, once part of the Boston and Maine Railroad that brought tourists to the lake for summer vacations from the late 1890s to the 1950s. Weir Beach was a busy summer resort with many fine grand-style hotels lining the shore of the lake. We take a harbor cruise on a rainy day from Hyannisport, Massachusetts.
It's true, all those jobs, when you go to Detroit, you put a pole on Miami.
We're 21 and over. Outside and off into the distance. There's a large brick building that you can see. That's Cape Cod Hospital. Cape Cod Hospital started off as a small wing. Once we pass the tip of Dunbar's Point, we'll be entering into Nantucket Sound. And boaters have no speed limit out here, so they may and now looking between the Wilson residence and Senator Kennedy's residence at the base.
The Cape Cod Central Railroad takes us from Hyannis to Barnstable this morning.
We're going slowly as we leave the depot because we are going through our rail yard. Notice a car that has two doors and no windows. That's actually our dining car. That's the dining car, the kitchen car. Kitchen car is where our chef prepares all of his meals. He actually cooks on that one car right there. I'm not quite sure how he can do it and still have. As we cross over Route 28, you know that